Good day, grade 10s. Welcome to our business studies class. For those who are just joining us today on our welcome to our 20th lesson. My name is Hector S. Nkosi, and today we'll be looking at contemporary social responsibilities. Now, grade 10s, we've covered a number of few chapters so far. So today, we are looking at a different chapter. We're starting a new chapter. Now, grade 10s, before I can start with this chapter, I need to share the learning outcomes with you, boys and girls. Right. Now, when it comes to your learning outcomes, these are the things that you need to know from your side and the things that you need to be familiar with them. So now, boys and girls, let's look at these learning outcomes as soon as we can start with this chapter. All right. Okay. Let's look at this, what you guys need to know at the end of this lesson. I need my highlighter before I can start. Right. Now, learners must be able to define the term social responsibility and give practical examples, recommend or suggest initiatives business can take to address socio-economic issues. So you must recommend or suggest initiatives that businesses can take to address the socio-economic issues. You must interview local businesses on the initiatives taken to address the socio-economic issues. You must evaluate the extent to which these initiatives have addressed the socio-economic issues. Now, boys and girls, what else you need to do here is to define of social responsibility. So now I'm going to take you step by step on how can you define your social responsibility. So your social responsibility is when each person is responsible for the effects, their behavior and lifestyle on the environment and others. So now your social responsibility, basically when each person is responsible for effects of behavior and lifestyle. It means that a person or group or organization has the responsibility to act in a way that benefits the society as a whole. Also, social responsibility also means getting actively involved in projects that have a positive impact on society in a sustainable way. So, for example, sometimes there are campaigns on HIV and AIDS. Sometimes there are campaigns of giving back to the community where you help out in handing out parcels, food parcels. It can be anything that is what you call whatever it is that is going to be helpful, right? So that's what we mean by your socio-economic issues, right? Now, let's look at the definition of corporate social responsibilities or CSR, right? Now, your CSR, it is the term used when the business takes responsibility for its impact on society and the environment. It is an ethical way of doing business in the interest of both the business and the wider community. Corporate social responsibility means that the business needs to be carefully that all its actions protects the environment and improve the quality of the life for the citizens of the country. The way businesses manage their resources or processes to impact positively on society, right? That's how we can also look at our CSR, right? Sorry. The environment consists of the air we breathe, consists to be polluted by harmful smokes or other gases that are released into air, right? Also, your rivers, other natural water resources, which can be polluted by factories. Businesses should be avoid doing things that harm the environment and people. The goal of CSR is to have positive impact on the environment, consumer, employees, communities, and your stakeholders, basically. Now, boys and girls, let's look also into your initiative business take to address socio-economic issues. Initiative business can take to address inequality and poverty, right? So basically, when we look at this, we have to look at the initiatives that take actually the business address in inequality and poverty. Remember, we've covered inequality and poverty when we dealt with our socio-economic issues last week. Now, boys and girls, what you need to do now, basically you need to provide bursaries for the employees' children, offer learnership for the employees, develop employees' skills, invest in a young starting SME that can be a business competitor, buy or supplier, right? You must also offer the best volunteering programs, support poverty elevation programs that are offered by the government, donate money, food parcels to local NGOs. So basically, this is what we look at the initiative businesses that can take to address the inequality and poverty. Now, let's look at the initiative business that can take to address HIV and AIDS. Now, how these initiative business address the HIV and AIDS. Now, how can they address the HIV and AIDS is that they must do what? They must offer counseling programs or train counselors to provide infected and affected persons or employees. So counseling programs, basically, they're important. Develop counseling programs for infected or affected persons or employees. Very, very important, basically. Also, you must conduct workshops on HIV and AIDS. So you must always conduct HIV, right? That's very important. And counsel in the workshop. Roll out an antiretroviral, the ARV treatment programs, or your R80 for the infected employees. Encourage employees to join HIV support groups, develop strategies to deal with stigma and discrimination, participate in the HIV AIDS prevention programs implemented in the community, and you must also support the non-governmental organization communities. So basically, as businesses, guys, this is what we need to do basically in order for us to support our employees. So if maybe one of our employees are infected by the HIV and AIDS, this is the steps that you need to take as a business. And these are the things that you need to do in order to support your employees. Because, boys and girls, at the end of the day, you don't want to lose your employees, basically, right? So it is very, very, very important to understand these things. Also, we know that sometimes when we conduct workshops on HIV and AIDS, Also, it doesn't mean that those workshops are only for people who are positive. Sometimes, even if one of your employees are still negative, or majority of your employees are still negative, but it is very important for our employees to get taught about this disease and how is it transmitted, and also why do they have to take care of themselves. And also, it is very important also as a business to teach our employees the importance of this, because basically what we need to do is to teach every person, basically to teach every person on how this disease is harmful to one. Because I'm telling you now, great tens, HIV and AIDS, it's a very, 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 very harmful disease. And also, I'm teaching you because you can get your HIV and AIDS um, in various ways, but the common or the common way or the popular way of which the HIV and AIDS gets transmitted is via sexual activities, right? So when you do sexual activities without any form of looking after yourself, um, without any form of using a protection, without of any prevention, you are likely or not, if the partner that you're sleeping with, he or she is positive, you can also be infected. So, and the sad part is HIV and AIDS does not have a cure, right? You cannot find a cure for it, but we do have, or it does have medication where it can just maintain your immune system, right? So these points, boys and girls, are very important because now it makes you to understand and also to be aware about the disease, right? So it is very important for businesses to do such things so that they can protect their employees. Because remember, guys, employees are an asset to the business or a company, right? Because if you are doing a great job and certain business or company decides to retain you permanent, stuff like that, you will be seen as an asset to the company and they don't want to lose you so fast because of silly stuff like your HIV and AIDS and stuff like that. Right. So they rather teach you while you still can or help you the process of getting better. Now, let's look at the initiatives that the business can take to address the gambling. Now, let's see how the business will address the gambling. Now, boys and girls, it is very important to understand the gambling. Also, how does gambling affects our lifestyles and stuff like that. We looked at gambling last week when we were still busy with our socio-economic issues. We dealt with gambling. We seen the gambling throughout, and we actually made sure that the gambling, how does it affect people, and we said it's an addictive thing. It starts as a small thing and it grows and grows, and the cost of gambling uh, can be because people are unemployed, therefore they don't have money, or it can be because of poverty. People, they can see themselves as gambling, as gamblers, I mean to say, right? So it is very important to understand what you mean by your gambling, right? Now, let's look at a few points here. If you look at bullet number 1 under gambling, it says to you, offer financial literacy education. So you must offer financial literacy education. When we talk about your financial literacy education, we're talking about offering your your lessons on, or educating people on how they have to use their money, on how they have to spend their money. So it is very important for your employer, for your employees as a business, to teach them about how they must use their money, your financial literacy, that okay, Because some of them, guys, I'm telling you right now, um, they don't even know how to spend their salaries because they're not educated enough when it comes to financial literacy on how to use costs, how to use money, how to spend. In that way, if we train our employees or your workers as a business, uh, you'd know that uh, 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 um, not everyone will go for gambling. Whereas other people, they go to gambling because of finances, maybe whatever they are earning, it's not enough, or they don't know how to use cash at all. Some people, they see themselves as gamblers. They go gamble. Gambling, guys, to be honest with you, um, I've once went to casino. I think sometime last year. It was my friend's birthday, so we were there for, I think for like 21 months. Yeah, no, not 21 months. Sorry. For like for a day. Sorry, I'm not. I don't know why I'm saying 21 months actually. For like a day, it was telling you right now, people camp there at the casino, they gamble with thousands and thousands of cash. Some of them, you can see that they're super stressed, and apparently some of them are regulars, which means they are there almost every week or every day. So that's how gambling, that's how bad it is. So please, boys and girls, make sure that you familiarize with yourself with this and you don't get tempted at the end of the day. Business must make use of organizations such as Gamblers Anonymous and the National Council on Problem Gambling to help gamblers to fight their addiction. As I said to you guys earlier on, gambling, it is an addiction. Uh, it is very, what you call painful, because once you in, you in. The chances of you going out, they are very, very, very slim, right? Now, let's look at the initiative businesses can take to address unemployment. Now, let's see how the businesses can thingy to address unemployment. It provides skills development programs through learnerships. Uh, it offers bursaries to the community to improve the level of education. So that's what businesses do in order to address unemployment. They provide learnerships, or they give out learnerships to those learners that are currently unemployed and they are able to study, or they are capable to study, right? They also offer bursaries to the community in order to improve the level of education, because we know that if one is educated, there are lesser chances for those persons to not get a job. So some of these companies, they offer what? They offer public bursaries where they help out their candidate, uh, where they make sure that their candidate achieves good marks and they are there for him or her. Right. If we look at bullet number 3, we create jobs for members of the community. So businesses, they can also mitigate or avoid the unemployment by creating jobs to the community, because the more people are working, uh, the lesser the country is going to be in a bad state. So it is very important for you or for one or for the business to offer jobs. All right. Now, let's look at the support existing small business to create more employment opportunity. So basically, the support existing small businesses to create more employment opportunities. Now, let's look at the initiatives businesses that can address to that take to address poverty and inequality. Right. It invests in young starting SME that can be a business competitor, buyer or supplier. It attracts the best employees by being socially responsible and offering the volunteering programs. Also, it supports poverty alleviation programs that are offered by the government. It donates money or food parcels to local NGOs. It increases employment through economic growth. Also, it introduced more training programs and apprenticeship to develop skills. It encouraged entrepreneurship through the business training and mentoring entrepreneurs. Also, it improved infrastructure and service in poor communities, right? So that's how we can deal with poverty. All right. Right. Now, let's look at initiative business that can take to address crime. Now, you must offer employment, get involved in the local community, get involved in the local community on sustainable projects with community, sponsor special sports program by providing finance prize money for special community events, adopt a school by providing most of its needs. So initiative business can take to address crime. Now, in order for you to mitigate crime or to avoid crime, you must give the community a very, 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 very big support. Right. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what was happening. I think I had a technical issue. All right. So you must offer employment. Why do you offer employment? So that you can avoid crime, so that you can make sure that people are actually not thingy. They are actually not uh, 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 busy outside and trying to get something for living. So if you offer employment, you actually trying by all means to avoid such from happening, right? The second bullet, you get involved in the local community on sustainable projects with community, right? So you must do those sustainable projects where you can keep everyone busy in the community, compare to when people are sitting and not doing anything. So it is very important for you uh, to have such or to know such that, okay, if you keep someone busy, it's just going to make sense and it's just going to help them not to be exposed or to be involved in a lot of things such as crime and other related uh, what you call items that might happen in the community or in the country or in the place of living. All right. Now, if you look at the third bullet, it says to use sponsor special sports programs by providing finance, like your prize money for special community events, right? We often see that sometimes in a community, what we do, we sort of do what you call your sports events, or sometimes they do beauty pageants events. Sometimes they do music festival events where people will come with their talent and sing. Then there's a money that is going to be won after some time, right? So it is very, 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 very important for us to understand such. Now, you must also adopt a school by providing modes its need, right? So they must also invest in schools, basically, right? Just to provide all its needs. I know majority, some of the businesses they are doing community service for in the where they sponsor them with study guides, they sponsor them with calculators, stationery. Some they sponsor schools for those learners who are needy, who don't have any uh, school shoes or school uniform. So that's what they do, because now if businesses do such a lot, it makes them basically to avoid their kids in order for their kids not to be involved in crime. So it is very important, basically, boys and girls. All right, and that was for your crime, when how to address your crime. Now let's look when you address your violence. How can the business address violence? Now, when we address violence, we must provide an employee assistance program, your EAP, to enable employees with personal problems to seek help. Also, we must provide counseling facilities or refer victims to private counselors, right? Other examples of corporate social responsibilities initiatives is by producing social responsibility goods and services, treating employees in social responsible way, ensuring your production techniques are socially responsible, initiating community projects also, right? All right, boys and girls, those were your social responsibility initiatives, and I hope it makes sense, and I hope by now you understand what you are supposed to do, basically, boys and girls. Um, I hope by now you do understand, or you know things that you have to do. All right. Before we can go any further, I want to link your social responsibilities with your socio-economic issues. Remember when we dealt with this, basically, we said the other day that, okay, just a second. Okay, we said the other day that actually these are the things that you need to know about your socio-economic issues. Now, you need to be able to link your social responsibilities with your socio-economic issues. Here, we also spoke about inequality and poverty. We describe the impact on inequality and poverty on the business. Can you see the link with your social responsibility? We define the term inclusivity and explain the purpose of inclusivity in a workplace. We evaluated the negative impact on HIV and AIDS on a business. We outlined the different types of gambling and explain the impact on businesses. We define in the meaning of piracy. we looked at counterfeiting and bootlicking, strikes, political disturbance, and crime. Sorry, I don't know what my cursor is doing today. But yeah, at least I'm highlighting everything. Also, we explained or discussed the impact above the mentioned socioeconomic issues. So it is very important for you to understand that. Right. All right. Now, these are the things we covered also. We then looked at what you call at types of forms of ownerships, and we dealt with them. We looked at them one by one, and we looked at the public company. Right. That's what we looked at basically. Right. So we also looked at the advantages of public companies and the disadvantages of the public companies. So this we looked at way back since 2 weeks back. And also in your assessment, you were tested about these things, right? So boys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in. That's it from my side, and I wish you all the best and have a lovely afternoon. Goodbye.